You look not bad. You've got some light around you. Mine's is just inconsistent.
Yeah, webcam quality's a bit better, I think, on this. But
Yeah, it makes your tears look real.
what tears? How many tears?
I have no tears to shed.
Other than tears of things that annoy me. A, B, three.
Uh,
Yep.
Hello, and welcome to Headset Abuse. I am Ali Hay. Today is the 2nd of September 2017, and I'm joined by my crying friend Mark Gibson.
I'm not crying. It's the webcam makes me look shiny for some reason. I think it's better
The
quality.
webcam. The webcam.
Yeah,
How
So
are you,
anyway,
Mark?
I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm good. I'm rocking this new laptop that I've had for a week and not really had a chance to test out yet. The only thing I've tested out on it has been Minecraft so far.
You're really pushing its
So
limits,
it,
Mark. Like,
that seems to run fine. So if that runs fine, I think everything else will be all right.
yeah, I mean that's what they say. It's either you run Crisis or you run Minecraft. It's one of the two for your benchmark.
Exactly, and we all know that Minecraft is the more sinister of those two for benchmarks. But no, it's DDR4, which is the more expensive type of RAM. So if I need to put any more in there, it's
Right.
going to be a pain in the ass.
I got really confused because I was like, "What's Dance Dance Revolution got to do with
Yep.
it?"
hmm Yep. It's one of the new Intel i7s, which is the
Nice.
seventh generation ones, and it's a GTX 1050, which is the step down from the one that's available to do VR. So yeah, this should run pretty much everything. So
I think you've got a better graphics card than me. That's
do I?
1050. I mean, what's the 1080? That's the
Well, no, the 1080 Ti is the best one at the moment. Those were
yeah.
the ones that just came out. But glad I picked this up when I did because Nvidia just dropped the bomb last night of the fact that flash memory is really expensive right now and there are shortages. So they're going to be bumping up all the prices of the graphics cards as of like
Oh,
next
really?
month.
Is it?
So
Are we in another one of these memory
yeah,
shortages?
yeah, we are because China doesn't want to make memory for some reason. So we have to rely on Japan and a bunch of other places to do it. Um,
Bloody Japan.
Yep. It's been like that since 2011 though, so there's not much we can do about it. But yeah, glad I got it when I did. I know that's cool. It's an HP Omen, so the keyboard lights up red. So it's good. It's good.
Usually, you have to pay extra for that kind of thing.
I know. But yeah. Look forward to see what it can do. I'll finally be able to play all those games on my Steam list. I'm like, my laptop won't run those. So
Happy birthday!
yeah, so I'll finally be able to play the Talos Principle.
Let me know how it is.
Yeah, well, yeah, as I say, the only thing I've really tested this out has been Minecraft. But yeah, hopefully the audio, well, maybe not the audio quality because I'm still using the same mic, but the video quality should be a bit better. Uh, yeah, that's aside from that, looking after my sick fiance who's through in the other room.
Pretty
Uh,
sick.
yep, and I don't mean like she's picked up a skateboard and done like a
Oh.
360 revert. No, what else? What else has been happening with me? Not much, not much actually.
No? You've been playing games? Have you just been playing Minecraft? You've been playing games. We've not been here for like 3 weeks. You played
So
something.
So on a regular occasion, I would probably say no, I haven't played anything, but I've actually been playing a few things, been watching a few things as well. So I think since the last time we were on, Trez actually started properly playing PS4 stuff. So I got to see what Horizon looks like with HDR. That game looks really nice. In terms of mechanics and stuff, though, I'm not entirely sure I'm that
You
hot
get,
on it.
you do like, I think it uses its mechanics very, very well. Um, they are a bit off-putting, and especially because it's a game where your main weapon is a bow. That's not common in video games. It's always melee, like or guns. Like having all these different um, bow methods is quite a unique, not unique, relatively unique, but you know what I mean. Like that, a lot of games don't just focus around that, and I think that takes a little bit getting used to. But once once I well, at least me got to grips with the combat,
Mm.
I found that I found it really really satisfying. Even though it's like it can be a little bit off at first.
So I've seen Therese use like
There's no
the regular
climb.
pose. Yeah, the climbing stuff seems real, like especially after I've spent as much time playing Breath of the
Zelda.
Wild,
Yeah, yeah.
and you're like, I'm watching Therese play this, and like, surely she'll be able to climb that, and it's like, nope, she's just gonna jump up against it, or like you can get up it, but you have to like awkwardly jump your way up.
Yeah, because like it's the only things you can hang on to are things that have like yellow ledges.
Yep.
And there's quite a few cases where it's like, I just want to hop over this small gap, and especially during combat or something like that, and it's like, oh, she can't hang on to this. She's like an incredibly agile and skilled fighter, but she can't
Yeah.
make a 3 foot gap and hang on.
What are my other gripes with it? I think the voice acting and lip syncing can be a bit inconsistent.
Yeah. For the most part, the majority of the performances, the main performances at least, are very, very, very well done. I really like Aloy. I think she actually has a lot of character, and a lot of the NPCs felt a lot more real than a lot of other games. I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but there's one where you're talking to a town guardsman and his subordinate, and you're asking him questions, and then the subordinate knows the answer and starts answering his captain. His captain says, "You're talking to her, not me, so address her." And I just really it was that line that really stood out to me, just because it didn't need to be in there, but it gave these two characters that are not going to be in it for they're not major plot points. They're just like a side quest or like a stopgap on your main quest, but it gave these two pretty nothing characters a little bit of personality, like a little bit of realism to them, and I like little touches like that. I think really stand out in that game.
Yeah. I don't know how I particularly feel about the main story so far from what I've seen. Anyway, it seems to be padded out. If that makes any sense, like unless everything comes together in the end, obviously. But
how
so
there's
the whole thing about the storming of the main city. Obviously, how you become like was it the Seeker? Is that what she becomes, and then she can go anywhere,
well,
and then she's on.
You do the trial.
Yeah, but that's really early on.
Really early.
So she gets the authority to go anywhere she wants from what are they called, the wise women or sages, whatever the hell they are, and your main focus is to go after the guy that you think betrayed you.
Yep.
And then for some reason you wind up at the main city, and then you get it's not just a small diversion. It's at least 7 hours, maybe somewhere about there. How far are you through? Have you finished it?
I think I'm just after the main arriving at the main city, because you do all that main stuff.
Yep.
You leave the main your starting area, and then you've got that sort of main continent that goes up.
Yep.
And then you find out where the main city is, and it's half the map over. So
Yeah.
I think that took me a wee while, especially with how often I get sidetracked by things. And then got to the site. I've actually been looking at that one, and to going back to it. Had a real hankering.
Okay, I think Therese might be way further on what you are. Then
yeah,
I won't really talk about what's after that. But yeah, there seems to be a lot of the main through line isn't presented that often, shall we say? There seems to be
Is it a lot of MacGuffins of
Yeah.
You're
Well,
on
not
your
even.
main quest, but can you go and do this first? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I like. I understand why that would be annoying, considering there is quite a lot in that game, side content wise. That if you wanted stuff like that, you could have put it into a side quest rather than diluting this main quest.
Yep. Well, I mean, everything might come together in the end. It's one of those things where, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But in terms of other storytelling games, also watched her play quite a bit of Uncharted 4.
Yeah, that game's
That
good.
game looks really fucking good.
Yeah,
like
that game looks incredible. That game
like
is one of the only games that I actually stopped and used. Like, do you know a lot of games like Shadow of Mordor had it? I think The Witcher had
photo
it.
mode. Yep.
Yep. That is the only game that I've ever used a photo mode in, and I recently took all my like screenshots and stuff off, and that is actually a game where that and Firewatch are two games that I would actually like. I'm sitting going, I need a new desktop background.
And it looks real good with HDR.
Oh, I imagine it does. I imagine it looks absolutely fantastic.
Yep. Don't get me wrong, it's still Uncharted, and the gun combat still is ass.
I oh that I think more than anyone, I hated the combat in neck. I think I fired about 3 shots that I didn't have to.
Yep.
Any point that I didn't have to shoot a person, I didn't. The, I don't know how the combat got worse, or I just grew less tolerant of it.
Yep, that's exactly what Therese was like. She's like, I don't remember it
Um,
being this bad. I was like, did you play Uncharted 3 when it launched?
but one thing I feel they do in this story is the 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 Indiana Jones and the part
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't actually matter what you're looking for in this one. That is what the first 3 games were about. It was about your treasure. Whereas this one is way more about the story, and it benefits hugely from it.
I think they've still got that kind of
They've still
like
got it.
pseudo historical stuff in there that's
Oh no,
interesting. But
absolutely! Like, there are really cool things. There's Monkey Island references.
there's Uncharted references. There's the Marco Polo bit. There's like what was the other one? The well.
Yeah, the well's really good. Well.
I was like, huh, it's like being back at Eurogamer.
Yeah. But no, it definitely put more of its story focus on the characters
Yep, a lot of
and less on.
characterization. Yep.
Oh, it's so good. And like, I thought the flashback stuff would be. Usually I hate flashback stuff because I'm in the middle of this story and you're just ripping me out of it to go and put me somewhere else. That usually really annoys me. Especially when a story's really good, because I just want to get back into like what I was doing rather than this side nonsense. But those flashback sequences are really, really well done.
So I haven't seen all of it, but because I'm probably going to play it myself as well. But yeah, I know it does the Uncharted 2 thing of starts you at the midpoint and then has you work back.
Oh yeah, so it does. But I'm meaning that, like, you've hit the proper flashback stuff, right?
Oh yeah, with Sam in the prison and the other one, Nathan's a kid.
Yeah, the kid
Yeah.
stuff is the main stuff.
So yeah, where Therese is just now, she is marooned on the island.
So you've hit the point of the start of the game.
Is that the yes? Yeah.
Because the speedboat,
the
boat,
yeah.
The landscapes in that game were just incredible.
Yep.
Scotland was
not really Scotland looking like, but yeah, okay, it kind of more resembled like Canada.
I've been to enough of Scotland that I was like, you're taking liberties, but sure, it's raining.
With their fucking Solitude of the Fortress of Solitude rock formations. I was like, what?
Yeah, again, yeah.
And of course, it's Uncharted, so if he's going to go over a bridge that looks a bit rickety, it's going to fall, and then he's going to have to climb his way up. And
yeah. Like, it's still an action movie.
Oh yeah, it was interesting to see Therese's take on it as well, where she's like bar the story stuff and the characterization, she like feels that Tomb Raider has almost become like overall the better package, if that makes sense, in terms of gun combat and puzzle solving.
Like the puzzle solving, I would have to play the two of them again, like to really get that. Um,
Don't
the
get me wrong,
combat,
the
I'll
story
definitely
in
give you
Rise of the Tomb Raider is
the
horseshit,
story.
but
Yeah, like the story, like I'm
oh, he was Jesus.
Uncharted. Yeah. Fucking. Oh, why did I not see that coming? He's obviously Jesus. But yeah, like Uncharted. It's stories where it, like, without
Yeah.
a story, it's not a good game.
Yep.
Like, it's a very good looking piece of shit. Like, it's that's obviously a bit harsh, but like, I really did enjoy the gun combat. Apparently, the way to play that game is that kind of auto assist mode where you're just popping headshots left and
On
right.
an easy mode, yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
And I really wish I'd played it that way the first time. I literally stealthed my way through every combat I could, including the one in Scotland. There's a trophy for getting through the entire ruins without getting seen,
Oh, really?
and it is not easy. Like, it takes a long time. But I was
Yeah.
like, rather than shoot anyone, um, but no, that game is just incredible.
Yeah, it's good. In terms of what I've actually been playing, though, I've actually been solely playing Switch games over the last few weeks. So I picked up Splatoon 2.
Uh-huh. How's
Um,
how's Splatoon 2?
that game's fucking rad.
Yeah.
So I didn't play the first one. So like all this was completely new to me going in. So essentially, if you've never played Splatoon before, it's 4-on-4. Third
Territory
person,
control.
yeah, it's basically territory control, where you have different colors of paint, and you have to go into the paint and slide around as a squid to get ammo back. I think I'm about level 13, 14 in the multiplayer, and I'm a good portion through the single player as well. Single player is kind of so yeah, they've got like a single player which is like almost like a collection of like platforming-esque style puzzle solving kind of things that you have to do with specific weapons. It's interesting. Like they give you stuff that isn't in the multiplayer. There's like a whole range of enemies that you have to think about how you have to take out. Some levels will require you to finish them with a specific weapon. But once you've done that, you can go back through and play them through with any of the weapons you've unlocked so far. It's really charming and good looking, and like the soundtrack is like unironically really good that I've been listening to outside of it. Yeah, like I've been having a ton of fun with that game, and I think Splatfest is this weekend. Where basically they have like an event where you pick one side of like a choice and you play as part of that team, and the team that wins Splatfest. So this weekend it is invincibility versus flight in terms of which is the best superpower.
I
At least,
feel the one has a distinct advantage.
yeah. The last Splatfest they did was Mayo versus Ketchup.
Oh.
Mayo won that one.
What?
Yep, I agree with that one. I prefer Mayo over Ketchup, but
You're a monster.
it was the fact. So I got the game after this Splatfest, but I heard stories that the color scheme that they were using were obviously representative of Mayo and Ketchup. So it was like some weird thing, and with the furry following that game has, whenever you go into a lobby anyway, is also kind of worrying with that
Paint
stuff.
the walls with blood and semen.
Yep. So in Japan this weekend they're doing a Splatfest with which is the best McDonald's side, which is either fries or nuggets.
Sorry, nuggets are a side?
Yeah.
Apparently so.
And you get the LSAT size, and then it's like that. Giant fries.
What?
Yeah, like think about how big a supersized fry are like in Japan, like in over here. Like if you say large, that's the size of the fries in Japan.
We don't have super size here.
Well, we used to. Like
Large.
this. L set.
This is great for our audio listeners.
Yeah, I know, right? Where we're gesturing with our hands.
What's L set?
So they don't say small, medium, or large. They just say like S set, M set, or L set. I think they introduced an XL one as well, but I'm not sure. Or was it Giga? But yeah, anytime we go into McDonald's, I'd ask for like Big Mac L set meal.
Oh, one thing I've grown to love about, I think, most Asian languages is that. So I've been doing a lot of translating recently,
Okay.
and Asian countries do not have words for the specific months. They
Really?
just use number
All right.
month.
Yep. Nope. Yep. So
And
in
it's
Japan,
the best.
in Japan, it is like Gatsu. So Ichigatsu, Nigatsu, Sangatsu. Yep.
So, and it's the same with Korean. I don't know about Chinese, but like it's so. Cause see, when you're like changing like 30 documents to say like, oh hey, it's these are all going from August to September. You're just like change all those 8s to 9s.
Shigatsu. There you go. Yeah, so putting a lot of time into Splatoon 2. I'll probably put more time into that this weekend because of the Splatfest. And they're
There's
continuously adding content to that game. They've added new maps. They've added like at least like a weapon a week. So and it's all free as well. So
it's the Rocket League of the Switch.
well, so Rocket League's out on Switch as well. I just haven't. Or is it coming out? But yeah, I don't know.
You should get Rocket League for PS4.
Or I should get it for the consoles that actually want to play together.
But Rocket League's more of a game where you want to team up.
You can do that.
If I buy a Switch.
No, so Rocket League has crossplay, so you can play PC, Xbox, and Switch together. But PlayStation still hasn't signed up for the crossplay stuff.
So get it on PS4. So we can play it together.
I'd need to pay for a PlayStation Plus subscription to do that.
I thought right. Did you buy one for Therese? Was that what it is?
No, I was just forwarding the deal to you.
Why?
Because I was fully expecting to be like, right, this is going to sit in a cupboard until a dissertation is submitted.
I don't know why you thought that, and then
it didn't.
Bullshit nonsense. Oh no, we cannot touch the PS4, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
So the original plan was to get it later in the year, and then because of that deal, I wound up buying it. I wound up giving Call of Duty to charity because no store would take it. Went to game and they were like, "We can give you £3 for it." I was like, "Yep, no, I'm alright." Won't pay for the fucking bus fare home.
No, it's Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Some
lucky charity shop has that.
You've got a Pro, don't you?
Yes.
With the 1 terabyte.
Yes. I think it's standard for Pro, isn't it? I don't think you can get it. Yeah.
So there is only one game that I want to hear about, and if you haven't played it yet, I'll be very upset. No. XCOM.
So I've not been playing XCOM. I've been playing Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
The new XCOM.
How
is that game?
That game's real good.
I heard that game's real fun.
Yeah. It starts off slow. You get so let me okay, so for people who don't know what Mario Rabbids XCOM is, it is essentially sorry, did I say XCOM?
Yeah,
Mario Rabbids.
that is
So
what it is, though.
that
That is literally the description.
so that is what it is. It doesn't have quite the added stress that I've heard so much about XCOM. You know, where everything is like you have to do everything with a specific time frame. There's no retries, whatever else.
Yeah, I can imagine that they wouldn't put a lot of the harsh
Yeah.
restrictions on Mario and Rabbids murder
So
each other.
So the difficulty in that game kind of ramps up real quickly once you get to the second world. I am currently stuck on the second boss.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm at right at the end of World 2, and I'm kind of stuck on that boss. I need to have a different approach, I think. So, so yeah, it's a slow build. You start off with like very limited abilities at the start. So it teaches you how to like. So the game's all about momentum and like movement. Like the game teaches you that for every turn with each character, you can move, shoot, and use a special ability. Obviously, the special abilities are subject to cooldown, but you can dash through people, which will do damage, and you can also jump off teammates to get further out. So it becomes less about the stress of the dice roll because everything is presented to you plainly of this has a 50% chance to hit or a 100% chance to hit or a 0% chance. So you're
Like
not
XCOM.
yeah, so well there's not it's not like XCOM because you can be standing in front of a person and just shoot them.
Oh,
um
wait, is it literally 50, 100, or
it
0?
is literally those three
Right,
probabilities.
okay, right. That's
So
weird.
the game becomes more about the pure tactics of where do I want to place my characters, what is the best vantage points, which characters do I want to hit, and then jump off a teammate and then move and then shoot, or do I want to shoot first to bring that enemy towards me closer so that the other people can attack. And there's tech trees for every single character.
That's what I was. So that was my next question. Is like, is there progression of like in your characters?
Yeah, so totally. So um, I don't know whether there are more special abilities to be added, but like each character normally has two special abilities. One which will be unlocked as standard, and then one through the tech tree. And yeah, like in that tech tree, you can upgrade movement, health, crit shot, chance, all that crap. And each individual character has their own individual traits. So Mario's kind of like an all-rounder that has like a hammer, and Luigi's a straight-up stone cold sniper.
Of course he is.
And like Mario and Luigi have Overwatch, and you can upgrade the Overwatch to
See,
have multiple
even
shots.
they're playing it.
Yep, and one of the things you can do is the weapons themselves have elemental and physical abilities. So you can set enemies on fire, they can come out of cover, and then you can use that to like run them into an Overwatch, which will basically start off a ricochet between two characters. You can do a bounce, which will bounce them out of cover into the air, and then if anyone has overshot like Overwatch activated, they'll like literally just shoot them out the arena, which will like give them even more damage. Peach is a healer.
Of course,
Um,
yes.
sorry, Rabid Peach is a healer.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Peach does heal, but you have to jump on teammates, and then you get healing or aura around that. Like there's weird ways to play that. It's real fun. This is my first kind of introduction to a tactics game, and I feel like it's done a really good job of gradually introducing those not just the tactics, but like the way that you approach situations.
Mhm. Did
Yeah,
you ever
and
play XCOM?
no, I didn't. And it's one of those games that went free with Games with Gold as well, so I don't really have an excuse not to have played it. But I didn't play
You
it.
were waiting. In your heart of hearts, you knew you were waiting for this.
I knew somewhere that there was a game that would encompass Rabbids and Mario, but no, like it looks real nice. It seems to perform a bit better handheld. Um, there are trade-offs either way, but I think it's funny. I think rabbits are kind of funny, especially like some of the interactions with Rabbid Peach. There's a scene where one of the boss enemies is falling off a platform and she's falling with it, and it's just presented in selfie snaps.
Very good.
Yeah, that's some of the writing's a little twee, but apart from that, it's use the word hell in that game. Like Mario has a gun called Hell in a Shell.
Wait, what? This weird wrestling references and
there's references to everything. There's a Game of Thrones reference in one of the unlockable music tracks.
what?
Yeah,
What is happening? Like
there's a it's real weird because there's a part early on where you're walking past this Goomba in like a water spout, and like you can press A to look at it and it'll give you a little flavor text, and it says like, well, this is weird, but at least his backside's clean. You know, it's like an ass joke in a Mario game, which you don't really get to see very often.
Goombas don't have asses.
Or do they have? Or are they just one giant ass? I don't know.
Or maybe it's like underneath,
Yeah,
like between the legs.
yeah. There's a giant like rabid, like Egyptian rabid statue that looks like he's peeing. It's weird. It's real weird. The soundtrack is fucking phenomenal though.
Been listening to that one outside as well.
No, well, yeah, so, a couple times. So it's Grant Kirkhope joint.
Ah, yep.
So it's this weird thing where it sounds like Mario and it sounds like Banjo and it sounds like Viva Pinata. So it's more pluses in that thing. But yeah, I just unlocked Rabid Mario, and the boss battle I'm on forces you to play with Peach instead of one of your human characters, or like the third character in your squad.
Peach?
No, so Rabid Peach was already in my squad at that point, but that wasn't working out so well. So I tried it with Rabid Luigi because Rabid Luigi has like a vampire ability where if you slide through an enemy, they become any damage done to them when they're in that state heals the character. So yeah, I need to go back and try that boss battle again and see if there are any different tactics, because I keep getting wiped.
Commander, you have to try.
The best part, when you put Mario into Overwatch, he yells, "It's Mario time!" So I'm assuming everyone has to do overtime till like 3 a.m. So yeah, I thought it was
Oh, I really, really want a soundbite. Just that soundbite of "It's Mario time."
He goes, "Yeah, it's Mario time," flexes his arms, and then like a golden aura emits from.
That's when he went from Mario Brothers to Super Mario Brothers.
I think it was Mario 64 around the time that thing was going around. But yeah, like enemies have special abilities as well. They can go into Overwatch. They can like produce shields that you have to burst first in order to do damage. It's a tactics game, and it's unashamedly a tactics game.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, and it's really cool. I'm really glad that it got announced and got made in the space of like what they announced at E3 and then it was out by August. That's like 2 months turnaround.
Well,
but yeah,
you're aware that they didn't start.
Well, yeah. Obviously, in the PR cycle of things, especially when that game was leaked and we all thought it was like some weird platformer or RPG thing. But yeah, I'll be playing more of that and hopefully get through.
Good. I bought myself a nice little gift for me.
Yep. Was that along with the other 18 games that you bought last time I talked to you?
So my problem with buying so many games is that they just all wouldn't fit on the PlayStation. So I bought I bought 2 terabyte hard drive.
Okay. Right. Yep.
2 terabytes. Oh, it's so nice.
So are you?
Oh, it's so good. What?
Did you put that in the PlayStation, or have you hooked that up via USB?
No, it's an internal. It's
Okay, right. So you basically bought a
so
laptop drive.
yeah, so it's a hybrid. It's a
Oh,
hard,
it's a hybrid. Okay,
yeah,
that's good.
hard drive SSD hybrid, and it is a lot faster and a lot quieter.
So the one thing I've noticed about having a PlayStation 4 Pro is that the disk drive in that thing is pretty loud because there's always a point where the disk will stop spinning. Yeah, and every single time I turn around and go, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, you get used to that. You get used to that.
Yep. So the Xbox does that as well,
Yeah.
but not with the weird fucking Star Wars battleship noise.
It's yeah, so my PS4 was getting real loud. So I opened the entire thing, broke the warranty in that bitch, and opened it up and cleaned it out. Those things get real dusty. Um, yeah, and
Yeah,
then
that makes me worry about where mine's located and the amount of cat hair that goes around there.
yeah, you
I'll
might
need
want
to take
to
need to take a Hoover to it at some point, I think.
yeah. To be honest, see the process for like completely opening that thing up, apart from taking out the power supply, it's quite easy. Like just to
Yeah,
remove
it's pretty
everything
much
and
like
clean it
front
out.
and center, isn't it? It's just a case of just unscrewing some things and then
Yeah,
just take.
there's some hidden screws and stuff, but I mean the so the hard drive is a lot easier, and that doesn't break your warranty.
Nope. Yep.
That's yeah.
That was the same
So
with the PlayStation 3 as well.
yeah. So it was real. Like I took it out and swapped it over in about 10 minutes, real quick.
No issues putting the firmware in or anything. Just put it in a
No, not at
USB.
all. Yeah, you put it in a USB, put it in specific like in a specific folder, and put it in safe mode, and it just goes like and it installs in like 2 seconds.
Cool.
The bit that did take a long time though was getting all the games onto the PlayStation, which are still not finished because there's so many games.
So are you installing those manually then, or are you transferring those across?
Installing them manually.
Okay.
I couldn't be bothered doing that. I mean, all my save, like I pulled so I pulled all my screenshots and videos,
Okay.
shoved them in a folder on my PC,
Yep.
and then just was like, all my saves are in the cloud,
Yep.
because I've got Plus. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do them one at a time. I don't have a
So
cap on my bandwidth.
so how are you approaching this then? Are you installing the stuff that you're going to play, or are you just installing everything?
So the first thing I did was go into PlayStation Store on
Uh
my
huh.
laptop,
Yep.
go to my previously purchased list,
Uh
and
huh.
hit download on everything.
Fuck's sake. Okay. And how long ago was that?
Like a week or two.
Is it
So
still
all
downloading?
no, all of that is done.
All right. Okay. I was about to say I knew
It's
PlayStation Network was slow, but Christ.
you have no idea when you're installing 40 plus games. Uh, so the real annoying part is that it will download three at a time. It'll
Okay.
always download three at a time if you have three going.
Huh. Okay.
When there's three at a time, it can go pretty slow.
So Xbox
So
limits it to one. It always focuses on one and then moves on to the next in the queue.
that would be nice because I had to pause them individually.
Yeah, that seems real weird because the individual threading is going to be different for each one, and
Yeah.
there's only a certain amount of bandwidth that that device can draw in.
Yep. So I was like, fuck this shit. I'm just gonna make one download at a time. I still don't think I've got everything. Like, I've not put all the Hitman episodes on. I've not put all the episodes of like Life is Strange and the Game of Thrones and whatever other ones. And then there's my disc games, which I've nearly finished. Um, but yeah, filled up about 800 to a terabyte.
Okay, that's good going.
Yeah, well, so that leaves me with about 800 gig left,
Oh, because of OS and whatever else. Yeah,
and
yeah.
and that weird 10% that every hard drive takes away from you.
What was the thing with the PlayStation hard drives limit you to have? You can't go less than was it 25 gig?
Oh, really?
Like I'm fairly sure that if you try and install, like it just didn't do it. I think.
I wouldn't blame it,
Yep.
because what are you gonna do with that?
Yep.
So
Remember when
that's
25 gig used to be a lot? What was it? What were the original hard drives in the Xbox 360? Was it 10?
No, it was 20.
Was it 20?
20 and 60. Or was it 4 and 20?
No, I think it was 20 and 0. Remember?
Yeah, yeah, because it was just
And there was a
what was
4 meg memory card.
the arcade,
Yep.
the Xbox 360 arcade. Yeah, and then they brought out the 20, and I think then later on they brought out the 60, and then it was the Elite.
And what was the one I got? Was it 120 I got, or was it like? Remember the one I had
Yeah,
to
no, there was 100. There was 121.
and I had to
Uh,
scour like the used stores for that.
yeah. Um, Whereas I just went on and on Amazon and bought a fucking hard drive. It arrived the next day and installed it.
Yep.
Oh, Amazon
Yeah.
Prime's so good.
Yeah.
It's no, it was so I was really, really swithering on whether to get the one or the two, and I am so glad I went with the two.
Yeah, it's because you'd be running kind of low.
No, yeah, I'd be fucked. Um, so that's real nice. That's and it's also a lot quieter. Games load I, pretty quick. Like I have noticed some games having shorter loading times.
Well, that'd be down to your hard drive, the hybridness, because what it'll do
Yeah, yeah,
is,
yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah,
So the
it's
the more you load something, it will just straight up just fire it onto the SSD part, and then just it
which
just
is
the
why
Yep.
Kingdom Hearts has been loading real quick.
Oh no.
So, despite the fact I bought the PS3 Kingdom Hearts 1.5
Yeah.
or whatever it was called, I picked up the PS4 all six Kingdom Hearts games
Oh.
for 20 quid. Like
Oh. Well, they
those.
paid you 20 quid for it, or
What is your right? Okay, so what? Right, let's break down what your problem is with Kingdom Hearts. If you say it's a bad game, that's not an argument.
his shoes are too big.
His shoes are too big. His shoes are far too big. Unfortunately, there's no option in that game to change your shoes.
It's like the Dead or Alive slider with the shoe size.
Then if you put them up, they just sort of wobble as they settle.
The physics of these shoes are real weird.
Yeah, just going all over the place. That game's good. Like that game is a fun game.
What game? What one out of the six?
I've started on Kingdom Hearts 1, obviously.
You don't go backwards. You don't play the prequels first.
You might, I don't know. So the thing about Kingdom Hearts is I played one
Right.
when like back in the day.
Okay.
Like I played one. I played the Game Boy Advance one, which was the part Chain of Memories, which is the end. I think the interval between one and two. This is before it all went down the fucking rabbit hole.
What
And
was the
then I
name? What was
played.
the name of the latest one? 365 by 9 over
That's not even
15.
the. But I don't even think that's the latest one. I think they've had one since that.
Oh god.
Um, yeah, there's so it's a collection of six.
Dream drop.
Um,
Why do the words dream drop distance come to my head? Is that a
no,
Kingdom Hearts thing?
it's a Kingdom Hearts
Oh
game.
god.
You did quite well. So there was Kingdom Hearts, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts Coded, which was a mobile phone game,
Okay.
Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep,
Ew.
Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance,
Okay.
and then Kingdom Hearts X. No, Kingdom
Com.
Hearts. Sorry, Kingdom Hearts Chi or Cross
Okay.
or, but it was also rebranded as Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. Union Cross.
Is that stationed out of London somewhere?
That's what I was thinking. um, and this one's the 1.5 and 2.5. So it's just 6 games. I
Okay.
don't. So I don't know if it's doing the weird thing of like, because remember, I remember some of them just being movies.
Wait, what?
So so when they, I'm sure when they brought out like Kingdom Hearts 1.5 originally,
Mhm.
um, it was like 365, 358 or whatever over 2 days was just they'd like redone all the cutscenes, tidied that up, and then just put that as a movie.
Okay.
So that because I don't know if the game didn't adapt well from like the 3DS to, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know how many of them are actual games and how many of them are
Well,
like,
you would hope that all 6 would be core games. If not, that's
eh,
kind of messed up.
what is it?
Yeah.
It's 6 games. I've put 29 hours into the first one for £20. You're telling me that if I don't get 29 hours worth of gameplay out of all 6, it's worthless? Considering they remade
Ali,
one of them.
it's it's a Kingdom Hearts collection. It is
Oh,
worth
okay.
it.
Um, so I played then I played Kingdom Hearts 2 and stopped. That's where
Okay.
it ended. Like like
Was
in
that
the
by
past,
choice or was that like...
yeah, like it kind of got off the rails. So like, see, picking up this collection for 20 quid, I've already got my money's worth from it for just playing the first one. I'm interested to see this Chain of Memories because they remade the Game Boy Advance game into
Okay.
like a 3D console game. So that seems cool. Like, I don't know how they'll have managed that. But so I'm not a huge hardcore Kingdom Hearts fan. I just think that they're very, very well done games, or at least 1 and 2 are. Um,
They're still making 3, aren't they? That game isn't
yeah,
out yet.
no, of
Okay.
course not. Um,
Hasn't that game been in development for like 50 years, isn't
yeah,
it?
no,
Okay.
it's ridiculous. And one thing I will say is, I did not realize especially for back in 2002, the animations and a lot of that game are really, really good. Like a lot of the enemy animations, they just have a lot of personality.
And those haven't been updated since like the original version or
So
anything?
that's what I'm not sure about because it doesn't, like, there's nothing else in that game that would suggest that they would go back and actually change things. It was more just a like looks
Here
upgrade.
it is. Here's the resolution's a lot higher.
Yeah,
Like,
which is all you really needed for that game. Like, it was released on PS2 with a dual analog stick. Like, maybe tighten up the controls if they were needing it, but I can't see them going in and completely changing animations. And it's just there's like, it's just they have a lot of like real personality, real character, and didn't need it considering they're just enemies, like base bog standard enemies. They all have their little quirks and stuff, which is really nice.
Rabbids has a lot of that.
Yeah, like you might put you off the game, but I see like there are similarities between the the tones of the rabbits and Kingdom Hearts.
Yep, they're all run about yelling "blah."
Pretty much. That's Goofy's famous line from Kingdom Hearts.
Apart from "What am I?"
He's a funny animal.
He's a dog person, and
No,
then Pluto's a dog.
yeah,
So how does that work?
he's a funny animal.
Funny.
No, that's what they're
Oh, is that
called.
literally what they're called?
That is
Okay.
what they're called. Like Mickey is a funny animal. Donald's a funny animal. Pluto's an animal. Yeah, that's the difference. It's actually that Pluto's just into kind of some weird shit. Like he can walk and talk like Goofy. He chooses not to.
He's a recovering meth addict.
That's Jesus.
He can't stand up anymore. That's why he's on all fours.
His collar's just an electronic tag. So yeah, I also bought Valkyria Chronicles. That was like £7. So I played the intro to that.
The original or
the remaster? Yeah.
Because I've heard the new one is hot garbage.
I've heard the new one's hot garbage as well.
Yeah.
Valkyria Chronicles is a game I'd never played. Heard it was really good. It seems fun. I mean, speaking of tactics games.
Yep.
There just seems a lot like, because it's basically, well, so far it's basically an RPG, but like a tactics game.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm finding a real struggle. That there's like, it's like, so it's presented in a book, and it's like, you unlock chapter 1. Do you want to watch chapter 1? Here's a 5-minute cutscene. Okay. You've unlocked chapter 2. Do you want to watch chapter 2? 10-minute cutscene. There's a fight, and then repeat. Like, there just seems a lot of sitting around just listening to people talk about the fake war between fake Russia and fake Europe.
So they made an anime of that. There's at least one season of that, I think. I don't know. You get bored of it and interested in the story, probably better worth watching that rather than having to.
It's more that I'm more interested. I want to fight more. Like,
yeah. Okay.
I feel that the balance so far, and I'm real, like, I've only done like 2-3 fights, so I'm real early on. But it is just that, like, I was already feeling that kind of grating against me of like, so we're just gonna sit and watch these people talk about the war and
fake Japanese Europe World War II.
It's so weird because it takes place in 1935. Which is not when the war was happening.
No, it
wasn't. Between the ridiculous, will gun citizens down in the street empire of fake Russia, then the coalition of the rest of Europe, which is, and then there's Magic Land.
Yep. In case you've forgotten, though, Fullmetal Alchemist was set in fake Japanese Europe, so.
Yes, it was. The weirdest thing I found was, so the premise is that there's a magical resource that is not oil, it's crystals, because it's a Japanese game, it has to be crystals.
Yep. Are they made out of people?
Probably, I've not got that far yet. Okay. So there's a giant war between these two factions of rest of Europe and evil Russia over this resource. But the idyllic land of Gallia managed to keep neutrality and not get attacked, despite the fact it's the most rich in that resource in the world. What were the rest of them fighting over? Why would you not just go there first? How did they maintain their neutrality?
Maybe they got like magic using that resource. I don't know.
It seemed a bit weird.
It's like nukes.
The gameplay seems fun. I'm looking forward to expanding out a wee bit more, once I get more weapons and people and stuff like that. Do
you have the tank? There was a lot of tank in the anime, I think.
No, I've just seen my first tank that I had to run away from.
Okay.
So yeah, it's weird. I've been playing anything. I went back and played Hand of Fate.
That's a card game, isn't it?
That is a card game. That is a really fun card game that they have done a lot of improvements to since the last time I played it.
Is it a Dota card game?
No, it's it's like a RPG adventure, but like as in like a tabletop RPG adventure.
Yeah, it was one of the Games with Gold games, I think.
I think so.
Like a while ago.
Was it? Oh, Games with Gold. Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a good game. That's a really good game. I've convinced one of my friends to pick it up recently because it was on sale in the PlayStation Store, and they have added both free and paid content to it.
Okay.
They have fixed a lot of the problems with it, like really jittery at certain points, frame rate drops, bad loading times. Like this, it's all just so much cleaner and quicker. And the sequel to that game's coming out soon, so should be this year. So I'm really excited for that because it's a game that is quite unlike a lot of most of what else is out there. It's a really simple premise that they execute very, very well.
Well, there's a market for growing, shall we say, for CCGs on.
Yeah, but it's a different type of CCG. Like it's not like there's a finite point. You know, you can collect all the cards and do all of the quests.
Oh, okay.
Like it isn't a case of like because the thing you're wanting to pick up all the encounters. You get encounter cards, you get equipment cards. So you're basically wanting to get all the encounters and complete them all to see the end of these like mini stories. If you've got it on Games with Gold, it's worth a playthrough. Because it's a real run-based game, like it's a kind of roguelike-esque. But you can like you can knock out a game of it in like 15 minutes or something.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's fun.
Although, how does that compare to like a game in Hearthstone? Aren't they relatively shorter than that?
Because it's not a card game that way.
Okay.
It's a card-based game. It is not a card game.
Okay.
So all like you've got different decks. So your encounter deck is full of like you meet a witch in the forest. She says that you have to offer her sacrifice to pass through. What do you do? And then you choose an option, and that'll be one of the cards, and it's on a little like it's like a tiled dungeon, but the tiles are cards.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
And then it'll bring up like 4 cards. It'll say like success, success, failure, failure, and it'll shuffle the cards, and you've got to pick the right one.
And you have to guess who's Marilyn, and then
yeah, it's a good game. Okay. And the thing I really like, and I don't know why, is that when they shuffle the cards, you can actually follow it. Like you can tell if the third card was the third card and things like.
Oh, so it's Mario Party.
Yeah. No, because that's random bullshit. You can actually, there's skill here. But yeah, and then you can get more equipment cards from your equipment deck. It is more complex than just a basic card game, but no, it's a card-based game.
Okay, that makes more sense rather than just right. Because card games have a very different meaning this day and age.
It's
like Gwent and Dota cards. And
yeah, I think it's more Phantom Dust than it is Hearthstone.
So it's more like Phantasy Star Online Episode 3.
No.
They turned that into a card game.
How?
I don't know, but I didn't buy it.
Fair enough. Well, have I been playing anything else? Have I been playing anything else? I think so. No. I think
just installing stuff and switching out hard drives.
Yeah, played some Doom on the PC. That looks nice. That looks real nice on my PC. The PC. Doom.
Yeah, I should get Doom from my laptop.
Although it was really annoying at first because I was playing it with a PS4 controller.
Mm-hmm.
And the gyroscope in the controller was thingy to the mouse. Oh, God. So anytime I moved the controller, he would just flail its head around wildly.
That sounds like the way to play that game.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I have found with PC gaming is, yes, the results are really, really nice, but man, sometimes getting there is such a pain in the ass. Like, it is really nice about console games that you can just put in the game and go, there's none of this. So wait, why is this game only displaying half of the textures?
So you use the GeForce experience and just use that as
Oh, fucking GeForce experience.
sign up
And
with your email and
and then there's the thing of like Steam and PS4 controllers, because Steam's like, nah, we accept like PS4 controllers, but then not all games do. But then, uh
don't you have like a wired 360 controller that you can use?
but I want to use the best controller.
Oh, you've got an Xbox One controller.
Absolutely not.
Xbox
Absolutely not.
Xbox One Elite controller.
Okay, now you're just off the deep end. No, the PS4 could, like, after using
I
all the
I
controllers,
still prefer the Xbox One controller over the PS4.
I just no,
It's the triggers. It's the triggers. They feel better on
no,
the
they don't.
Xbox.
They
Yeah,
absolutely don't.
they're too squidgy on the. They're too squidgy. They don't feel as precise.
No, that is for precision.
What squidginess?
Yes, it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's analog. What's the
They're,
word I'm looking? Yeah,
all
they're,
triggers are analog.
fuck you. What's the word I'm thinking of? Yeah,
I
it's
don't.
just more.
No, that's not.
It's
A button
better.
is digital. That's on or off. Analog means that
Uh-huh.
there can be more than one input.
Yeah, that's what I was meaning.
But
So
all
yeah,
triggers are like that.
yeah, but they're better on the PS4.
Fucking GameCube controllers were analog.
And then they had a click at the end.
Yeah, they did. Well, the one
Nothing
did.
took advantage
Yeah.
of it.
What? Rogue Squadron did?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you trying to think of one game that took advantage of the feature
I think
on
that I had it.
every single?
Dude.
Do you know what the PS? I saw the PS Plus games for this month.
Yeah.
Infamous Second Son,
Yeah, I saw that.
which is a totally fine game. The only reason it bums me out is it was the first game I owned on the PS4
Why does that bum you out?
because I own it.
Oh.
I've
Well, that's what
platinumed
Games with
that
Gold
game.
is like these days, where it's like, oh, I have that. Or some months it's like, oh, here's Bayonetta for free, and I'm like, I don't want Bayonetta for free.
Well, yeah, of course you're gonna get that, but yeah, quiet month. But at least they're doing more full games.
Yep. Yeah. So when I eventually do get us on PlayStation Plus, at least there should be some decent stuff by that point. But yeah.
There's been some decent stuff. Or Rocket League.
Yep.
We move on to
I'll play at some
news.
point. Yep.
Hey, Mark.
Hi.
How do you feel about realistic looking forklifts?
Uh, they they are the forking best. I don't.
Well,
That game looks forked up.
what would I tell you if you could look at it and an all new shiny engine in Shenmue 3?
So it's fine unless you're looking for facial expressions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That that
yeah.
looked real bad.
That was kind of bad. That's
So
Shenmue.
I think the studio put out a statement saying that they'd removed the facial expressions a month prior, and they are being worked on. But those characters have some real fucking uncanny valley bullshit going on with the way that they look compared to the environments. The environments look all right, but like the characters just look like dolls almost.
Marionettes, yeah.
Yeah, real fucking weird. I don't know. That game will come out at some point, and it will be middling. So I just
Yeah. Did you ever play Shenmue 2?
so
Or 1?
Shenmue 2 is the only one that I've owned. I had that on
So you've
original
not played it?
Xbox. I, no, I have it somewhere, but I've never
Of
played
course
it.
you do. Um, so one of the developers on Shadow of War who passed away from cancer last year, they are creating a in-game character.
Yep.
Um,
As
as
DLC.
as DLC in Shadow War, with the proceeds going to his family, which is nice. Um,
Yeah, which is weird because it's like the only nice thing I've heard about anything else surrounding that game
yeah,
between like microtransactions and
yeah.
turning spiders into women.
I prefer it the other way around. I prefer turning women into spiders.
Okay. But
Judge
yeah,
me.
yeah, I think that DLC is only like $3.99 or something like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and yeah, with so at least I think at least half of it because it's $3.50 for every um, purchase through 20, December 31st, 2019. So
okay, that's quite well.
yeah, well, it depends when the game comes out.
It's out in like 2 months, I think.
I'll
October.
believe that when
The
it's.
same day as Mario Odyssey. So and Assassin's Creed
Do you know
out.
what? Do you know what I only realized this week? Destiny's out in like 4 days.
I think that says something about how much focus we give Destiny nowadays.
I know. I just saw a thing that said like 6th of September, and I was like, wait, it's September now.
Which is
4 days.
Wednesday? That's a weird date.
Yes,
Huh.
that is weird. But yeah, so Destiny's out in 4 days.
Do you care?
Yeah. Um,
Sure.
not like I'm not going to do what I did with Destiny One and buy it at midnight. Um, that was definitely an impulse buy. Destiny One. I enjoyed Destiny. Like, I'm definitely going to wait for like reviews and stuff to come out. Like more opinions, like see what that game actually is. But yeah, like if they fix the problems, then I'll totally play Destiny 2.
uh,
If they've made a more fun game, like if they've made a more fun surrounding game, then I will play Destiny 2 because Destiny 1 was so much fun, except for the, you know, mission structure and design and quite a lot else of it. But hey, if you want to shoot things, it's real satisfying.
but was that baseline Destiny, or are we talking after Taken King?
What do you mean?
So let's face it, that game was probably on the list for one of the most disappointing games of that year. And then they've kind of
Yeah.
fixed a lot with the Taken King.
Oh no, I bought Destiny like I thought the base Destiny was not good in mission structure. I thought Taken King was still not that good with
Okay.
mission. Like, you know, they could not fix the problems with Destiny 1 through like
DLC, no.
content. Yeah,
Nope.
There's a reason that they basically tore that game down and rebuilt it for Destiny 2. So yeah, it's the shooting. The shooting is the fun part.
Remember Paul McCartney did the track for the end of that movie and then had the music video? That was the thing. That was the thing that they were toting. It was like, here's Paul McCartney.
Remember when
Don't
they
look at the
placed
game.
Peter Dinklage with Nolan North?
Yep. Yeah, that game's had a bumpy ride over the last few
Remember when they
years.
thought that the biggest problem they had was that Peter Dinklage didn't do a great job as the ghost, so they redid that, and then
Remember when people thought the best thing about the game was the loot cave?
yeah, it was. They're right. That's that one's just a fact, Mark.
Oh dear.
Glows real nice when all those engrams drop.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what the reaction to Destiny
Yeah,
2 is. I know there's a loyal fan base, but it'd be interesting to see like the outside perspective on that and to see where it draws a bigger audience.
yeah. I think I'm
I
a
don't know.
I think I'm a fairly decent test case for that. You know, I liked old Bungie stuff. I played Destiny 1, enjoyed it, thought it was a bit shit in certain points. I'm not loyal to it by any means. but I'm interested in coming back to it. If they've improved it, I am interested in coming back to it.
I know
You?
that's I could not care less. There's so much other stuff that has my attention more than Destiny or Destiny 2. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe there'll be like a Taken King equivalent for me to jump on at some point, but yeah, I'm just meh.
Fair enough. Um, Dead Rising 4 is coming to PS4.
Yep. There's a big
Um,
Frank's big package. Is that the name of the version? Yeah.
Frank's Big Package. I do not remember there ever being a Dead Rising 4.
So that came out at Christmas on Xbox One, I think. Yep.
Nothing.
That's
I was
that was kind
sitting
of the response that we got as well, to be honest.
because I was
So
sitting going, is Dead Rising 3 out in the PS4?
no, remember that was published by Microsoft.
Yeah, no. And that's why I was like, did they mean Dead Rising 3?
No, they mean Dead Rising 4.
Apparently that was a game.
Yep. Because this is the one where you go back to the place from the original.
Willamette?
Yep.
Is that what it's called?
Yep.
Go me.
He plays a character in Arrested Development, and he was the voice of Batman in Lego Batman movie.
Married to Amy Poehler.
Yep.
Or was. So did you play Dead Rising 4?
When have you known me to own a Dead Rising game?
I don't know.
Uh,
Yeah, so it's it's essentially a Game of the Year edition.
no, it is a game of the in all but
But
review
that's
scores, it is a game of the year edition.
but I'm also meaning it's not a Game of the Year edition for PS4 because Game Edition never came out.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. Dead Rising 4 is a thing. Completely forgot that exists.
I think a lot of people did, to be honest. Even the people who were probably reviewing it. I think it's one of those. It was like noted as one of those games that as soon as you finish playing it, you forgot about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Dead Rising had its time.
And that was the original on the Xbox 360.
I think it really did well with 2. I think they nailed a lot of the stuff that kind of one because really one was unique and then really had its problems.
Remember how much they were toting the fact that how many people had played that demo on Xbox 360? They were like, "It's the most played demo we've ever had," and then they ran that
Case
series into the ground.
Case Zero was good.
Was that the weird downloadable thing before two?
Yeah. Um, yeah, so the Capcom are re-releasing Street Fighter 2 on a SNES cart.
Yep.
On a very, very flammable SNES cart.
It's fine. They just recommend that if you're playing it,
Uh-huh.
you have a fire extinguisher to hand.
Uh-huh. They do.
Literally, that is the guideline.
They say the SNES hardware is deemed a vintage collectible, so please exercise extreme caution when using the product with a capital P, weirdly, and make sure there is fire extinguishment equipment nearby.
It's too hot for TV. Literally. Can't handle how these hot takes.
It's a so it was a limited run, 5,500 copies, $100 each.
I want to know how many of those eventually caused fires. I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah. What
Especially
percentage?
the Japanese apartment on a tatami mat. They would just like set the entire fucking thing alight.
Yeah, it's and it's only NTSC. So
Okay. America. And
yeah.
Japan is NTSC, I think?
Yes. Um. Hey Mark, do you want an original Xbox One?
I'm alright, I've got one.
Well, good, because they're not making them anymore.
Well, apparently they've not been making them for a while.
Yeah, apparently they've not been making them for like a year. Yeah. So it turns out that 2 years and 9 months after the launch of the Xbox One, they stopped making them the moment the Xbox One S came out. Which I don't blame them. Like, is that a big deal?
Yes, in the fact that like any other company is probably still producing like baseline consoles right up until a point. That just seems like they went, oh fuck, this thing is just hot garbage. We need to stop this.
I don't think it's that extreme.
You have to remember how that launch went, though.
Yeah, but we're talking about the scale of like 2.5 years, not. It's not like they stopped making them 3 months in and went, it's so bad. We need to.
No, but I think remember like they moved all their R&D through to making the Project Scorpio at that point.
Oh,
They were pretty
yeah,
much talking about that like immediately after launch, where they're like,
yeah.
"Yep, let's build something that'll help." And ironically, no one is like, well, from what I've seen, like there doesn't really seem to be that much to get a Scorpio for, to be honest.
No, not at all.
I'll still get one, but purely to make
What?
things look better.
Why? You have an Xbox One.
Yeah, but I don't have an Xbox One that does 4K.
I might buy your Xbox off.
But it's going in the bedroom so I can watch Netflix.
Oh, you're an asshole, you know that? You're the worst.
I'm sure you'll be able to get an Xbox One way cheap when that thing comes out. Go on Gumtree, you'll probably get one for free.
PUBG's the most popular game of all time.
All time?
All time.
I saw that it
popular
had
game.
overtaken League of Legends on Twitch.
Yeah, and it also took over Dota 2 players on Steam, which is that is crazy.
I have something to be able to play that now, so I mean,
You do.
if that goes cheaper in the Steam sale, I might be able to buy some PUBG.
You need to buy PUBG.
Yeah, it's on the list. It's on the list. As soon as I see like any sort of like, yeah, it's going to be on the Steam sale, but because I already have a list of stuff that I want to get as well.
Yeah, consider. Oh, excuse me. Considering the game isn't even out yet.
Yeah.
It had 877,844 people playing it.
Is this like the biggest early access game ever, perhaps? Then,
Yeah.
or
could be? I'm not going to like say that as.
Well, how many people bought No Man's Sky? So I know it can't be Minecraft. Surely Minecraft would be the biggest.
True, but that was in the days before.
Yeah.
Early access.
I don't know. That would be an interesting fact to see.
Because I bought Minecraft when it was in alpha.
I bought Minecraft well after the fact that it came out.
I wonder if I can still go back and log in the same way I did, like with the same username. And
you should be able to, yeah.
Because I think that was the last time I played Minecraft.
I quite like Minecraft. It's a good game to chill out to.
Yeah, bought it for like 11 quid or something. Back when it was just coming out.
Which was what?
10 years, about 10 years ago. No, about 6 years ago.
2007, wasn't it?
I did not think it was 10 years ago.
I don't know. I feel like it's
No, because I was sure I was in uni and not high school. Sorry, college for you Americans.
2009.
Yeah, 2009. So what was that? 8 years ago?
Near enough.
8 years ago. Man.
Hey, World of Warcraft's still going, and it's what 2004? Was that World of Warcraft?
Oh, no way! Was it 2004? It was. It
Jesus.
was. Oh, man. That's scary. I was 14 years old.
Way older than that.
Half-Life 3 got cancelled.
No.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, do you
Plot-
wanna
The plot for
clear this
the
one
plot
up?
for Half-Life 3 Episode 3 got
No.
released in the best possible way
No.
on a paste bin.
Gender-swapped fan fiction of Half-Life 3 Episode 3, if you want to be real specific, but the main news is Half-Life 3 is cancelled. The oldest news in the industry, Half-Life 3 is cancelled.
Yeah.
Like, it was never coming. Like, oh, did you see the people have been?
Downvoting Dota.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll hurt Steam. Once they've done that, they went and bought 3 more games. Like, what is happening? Why do people think that Half-Life 3 was ever gonna come out?
And why do people think that reviews are going to stop people downloading a free game?
One of the second most popular game on Steam.
Yeah. I don't know. Like,
People are nuts.
I've said my piece about Half-Life 2 before. Yeah, it was seminal at the time, but it has pacing issues. Some of that game is just plain boring. So
Half-Life 3 was never gonna be the game anyone wanted it to be, because first-person shooters had evolved Half-Life 2 and Half-Life 3.
So there's one small ray of hope that if id can turn Doom around, maybe they can do something similar with like Half-Life. But
Fine.
what that would
want
be,
I want it in the same time scale as Doom original to Doom now.
or wait, do you mean like Doom 3 to Doom now, or like the original Doom?
I mean Doom 1993 to
Okay.
Doom 2016.
Okay.
When did the original Half-Life come out?
That was a 97 game?
Ah.
I think. Remember my... Yep.
98.
Oh,
98. November 98.
I just hear Therese swearing at Uncharted in the other room. She must be at a combat sequence.
Combat sequences are shit, but the rest of that game's fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah, just like, what did you like? Why do people think that the brand is what makes it good?
I don't know if it's people think it's the brand. I think it's people think it was like, because Half-Life 2 did do a lot. It was like the first person, like the first FPS to have like really good like storytelling and character animation.
There's not physics as well was a big thing.
Yeah, like the second one brought in a lot of like in physics, environmental puzzles, because it's like up until that point it was pretty much like run and gun. So people like as people think those characters are pretty developed. I don't necessarily agree. But people have an affinity for those. It's like Shenmue. Like people have an affinity for those characters and want to see a conclusion to the end of it. But we live in a world where the new Doom exists, so maybe we don't need Half-Life. We live in a world where Yakuza exists, so maybe we don't need Shenmue anymore. It's people are always going to cling on to the things that they don't get closure on, whether it's Firefly or whatever else. Like, rose-tinted glasses are a weird thing.
They really are. It's and the people are blaming CS:GO and Dota for that. It changed the model in which they made games.
And it's
So
weird as
essentially
well.
killed Half-Life 3.
There was an interview with Gabe Newell not that long ago where he was like, Yeah, we're
Sure.
expanding into like medical tech and stuff. So like
Yeah,
Valve is
Steam are
more
becoming
Valve is
or
more than
Valve.
just like this developer thing. Like, yeah, they may dip their hand in occasionally and do stuff, but like they're more of a technology company now more than anything.
Yeah, they're more like Google.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I, it doesn't make sense for them to just stay in the games market anymore. From a business standpoint, at least,
Yep.
I, and they are not like game developer anymore. Like, I know you can say about like what was the last game they made?
Apart from
Dota 2?
Dota,
Yeah.
they had CS:GO, they had Left 4 Dead. The Portal 2 would have been the last one.
Was that wasn't made by? I thought that was that them or was that like
No,
a
no,
team they
Valve
bought?
made Half-Life 2. And then before that you would have had Left 4 Dead 2.
Do you mean Portal 2?
Oh, sorry, Portal 2. But yeah, before that would have been Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah, so that's quite a long time.
Yep. I mean, they did have the VR labs thing for VR not that long ago when the
But that's them trying to sell you
yeah, but like
VR. Like that's not a game.
yep, they're like this weird kind of I don't know, like hub lab where like people can work on stuff, and if they don't feel like it can get released, then they don't release it. It's one of those weird things where a company is so big that they're able to do that. Like the only other company that is able to do that is Blizzard.
Yeah, Activision
Really.
Blizzard. Yeah. Yeah, it's just they're a different thing now.
Maybe there are teams working on stuff. Maybe there is a team that like dips its feet occasionally into Half-Life to see if there is anything they can do with it and make like I know for a fact that there have been several Half-Life 3 prototypes been made. Like Valve has released a list of like project they'd canned not long ago. Like apparently like 3 or 4 of those were with Arcane Studios.
Yeah, the
So
couple with Arcane Studios, the Crossing, I think one was called.
yeah.
But yeah, it's like Valve is in the position that they never have to release something unless they think it's perfect.
Yep.
Like, and at that point, why would you?
And let's
You
face it, with the way that that community is, would you want to release a game with the word Half-Life on it that was anything but?
yeah, like it's fine. Danny O'Dwyer will do a documentary, and we'll see unreleased versions of Half-Life 3.
The
Like, yeah,
knives of Half-Life 3.
like do I think that game was in development at some point? Yeah, probably for like
Oh yeah, no, it
for a long, long,
literally has
long,
been.
long
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, and I like even at the point where I bet you that it was like a pet project for someone, and then it probably fell to the side, and then there was other things to work on, and
Yep.
then it didn't really fit in with what they were doing, and then they didn't really want to take it in that like there's 100 reasons why that Half-Life 3 didn't get made. None of them was really because of Dota or CS:GO.
Yep. And you've got to think as well that like the longer it gets away from that point of release from the last one, the less people are going to be interested in that sort of stuff. So like the marketplace is gradually depleting for people they can sell that product to.
Yeah, and like I mean, if you look at Doom, they essentially rebooted Doom. They didn't. They
Yep.
managed to just kind of like jam all that old stuff in there in a really smart way. But like, there's a reason they didn't make Doom 4. That they went back and
Yes.
made Doom. No, but like, there's a reason that they didn't make a sequel. There's a reason they
Yep.
didn't make like continue to try and top the last one because it's the sequel to the last one. They took a step back. They looked at everything they had and looked at what made Doom like the great game it was in 1993 and adapted that into 2017.
Yep.
if that's what they're doing, do you think that Valve's going to release Half-Life 3 just because you want a conclusion to a not great story?
Yep. Who knows? Maybe they'll reboot it.
Yeah,
But-
like, see, in like 5 years, if they want to make the Half-Life, I'm fine. Like, because I'd like to see what they do in 5 years to try and reinvigorate the first-person shooter genre. Like,
Yep.
that's
And it would be
that's what-
nice to see them do something outside of the two properties that they think are the most viable for them just now.
yeah. But see if they don't, fuck it. Like, there's so many games.
In fact,
I don't
if
have-
anything, I'd like to see them do new stuff more than
Oh yeah, way more. Like, I'd like to see an original idea. Like, think how Portal lit the world on fire. Think how Left 4 Dead lit the world on fire. Think about what those games have done. Like, Portal and Portal 2 were good. I mean, great games. Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 were really great games. But Left 4 Dead, especially like that kind of format, has branched out and it made a whole new genre like popular, and then things like Killing Floor and things like Vermintide, like stuff like that. I'm not saying that everyone's a winner, but it set that stage and then let everyone else go off with it. That's what I really like about, like, they do their, where Blizzard are the ones where it's like we take other people's ideas and perfect them. Valve have always been like, no, we want to try something weird and cool. Like, that's even why the lab was fun, because it's that kind of toying about, experimenting with this new technology. Like, that's what they wanted you to do with the lab. It's not about making this 9-hour grand adventure that's going to be the Lab 2, the Lab 2 episode 1 and 2. Like,
the Lab 2 episode 2, and then the third one never gets made.
yeah, but like, it's all about the new. Like, they released Half-Life 2 because they made this cool new physics engine. Like, they upgraded what they were doing with the way they were making games. It wasn't because Gordon Freeman had so many more words to say.
There's the cynical people that say that Valve may have just made Half-Life 2 so they could Trojan horse Steam. But yeah.
But even if they did, they didn't release a bad game because they
released a bad platform.
Yeah, and improve that. But if they'd released Half-Life 2 and it was hot garbage, like even compared to the first one, then no one would have got Steam. Like, Valve work in a very specific way. They want to release games that are top quality, that are trying new things. Even if that thing is, we're trying to sell you a shop. Like,
a secret shop.
Like, things are going to have to change drastically for Half-Life 3 to come around, ever.
Yep.
That's why VR was their biggest shot. And by they, I mean
the price point's still way too high for that, and the requirements
are absolutely.
Still way beyond people's reach.
I would think it would be a terrible idea to make Half-Life 3 for the state that VR is in right now. But VR was the way to go. You, like, Half-Life 1, you create this really solid, cool first-person shooter. Half-Life 2, you add to it in a way that no one else has added to games before. Why would you go into Half-Life 3 and just make it another Half-Life 2?
Yeah.
You would move that on to something like VR. You would move that on. It has to move on, basically. It has to do something new and unique that has never been done before.
Yep.
Also, don't
and maybe they've just set that lofty expectation for themselves so high that just the internal quality standards for that are just something that they'll never be able to meet.
Yeah, I don't even think it's as that serious a conversation as that. Like, they're not sitting in a room like head in hands going, we couldn't figure out how to make Half-Life 3. They probably sat around going, is there a way we can make Half-Life 3? Is there something we can bring to this to make it viable, to make it worthwhile for us? No? Well, cool, let's go make Dota. Let's go make Portal 2. Let's go and make Portal. Let's go make Left 4 Dead. Let's go and make a shop. Let's go and invest in medical technology. Like, why focus on Half-Life 3?
Yep.
Yeah.
But every time Valve goes onto a stage or does a press conference or talks to the media, it's the first question.
I think
Give
I
Dire
think
Tide.
I think I'm free in that I have absolutely no like nostalgia or reverence for Half-Life as a game, like as a personal experience. I have it as a game that as what it did for the industry, but as a personal like journey that I went through, nothing.
So I played 2 before I played 1. And when I played 1, it wasn't that long ago. And I got about halfway through and was like, yeah, this is a very early first-person shooter. So I didn't quite get the reverence for it, but yeah, it's one of those time and a place things, I think.
Yeah. I don't have enough time to play the games that actually exist that I'm not clamoring for one that doesn't.
Yep.
And I think on that note, we'll wrap it up. Half-Life 3 coming 2018. So
Next year's E3.
he's so funny. He's so funny. And they make the guy that released the plot stand on stage and announce
Mark
it.
Laidlaw. Yeah.
Yeah. You did this! You did this! Go on! Mark, what you got planned for this week?
I'm gonna play Rayman. Sorry, not Rayman. Mario Rabbids.
I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm stick around on my laptop, see what games I can play. Possibly go see it latter half this week, depending when it comes out.
Jen, I've never seen the original.
I've seen bits and pieces of the original.
I've heard it's good. Like I've heard
It's the second half's a complete mess, but yeah, it's
yeah. No, that the new one is apparently the most horrifying movie ever made, which makes me think it's not going to be that scary. Like, just horror movies, man. Like, the more you ramp it up, the less likely I am to be scared.
yeah. I know that Annabelle's out and it's supposed to be middling.
Mm. Do you know what, Matt? Do you know what movie was really good when it came out and was terrifying? Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah. Like,
Mm.
the original Paranormal Activity, I think, is a great, so well done, like, film, just full of tension.
I went to the cinema to see the marked ones.
Oh, that's the worst one.
And it
That's
like
literally the
and it goes
trash fire
and it
on
goes
the.
back to the first one. Like they like time travel or like whatever. I don't know. It's
So
but
the
witches try to take over the world.
wait, the marked ones is the one set in South America. No, it's not. It's set in like Los Angeles or something, but it's a
Like an apartment complex type thing. Like a
Latin family.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Are they still
And
making those movies?
they made the Ghost Dimension after that.
Oh God, I watched that. It was so bad.
Um,
Why did I need to remind that I've seen Paranormal Activity: The Ghost Dimension?
is that the one with the Connect?
No, that's
No, that is.
No, it's not. It's not. That's 3 or 4.
No, they do the thing with the Connect with the dots.
Yeah, that's 3 or 4. That's not.
Sure, I thought it was a Ghost
Yeah.
Dimension.
Yeah. It's so wait. 1, it's 4 because 3 was the one set in the 80s,
Okay.
and then 4 was the one present day.
Okay.
So yeah, it was 4 that was the the Connect. So dumb.
Yep.
Are they still making Paranormal Activity movies?
I don't think they are. I think they're done.
Do you?
Yeah.
They're
No,
still
I
making-
think they
still
said
making
somewhere that they weren't done. Yeah,
still
I know.
making Saw
I saw a
movies.
trailer for a
They're
Saw
still
movie.
making Saw
And I was
movies.
like, and it's called Jigsaw.
Yeah, it's called Jigsaw.
Jigsaw.
No, it's called Jigsaw. I will not name it that.
He does a dance, and then he's like Jigsaw. And on that note, what about you,
Yeah.
Ali? What you got planned?
Well, I'm not going to be here next week.
Oh yeah. So you said.
I'm going on holiday.
Okay.
I'm just going down the coast for a little while. That'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
The Lost Coast, the Half-Life expansion. Is that where
Yeah,
that's where
yeah.
okay, right. It all wraps around. It all wraps around.
It's actually the Ghost Coast.
The Ghost Coast. The Ghost
Yeah,
Dimension Coast.
yeah, the Ghost Dimension Coast.
Ghost Space Ghost
The,
Coast to Coast.
the marked coast, the coast dimension.
Coast to Coast Dimension.
Yeah. So apart from that, I've got another match of Blood Bowl coming up.
Okay.
We are now halfway through the league.
Okay.
What? So there's
no,
8
just
of
'cause
us.
that's been going for a while, and you're only halfway down the league.
Yeah, well, it's quite hard to arrange 8 people to get together to play a 3-hour board game.
That's true.
Like,
I mean,
so
hell, we can't get 4 people together to get some fucking pizza. So
yeah, so let's not throw stones. Yeah, so I am currently 4-0. I've not lost a match yet. Dave has yet to win a match.
that sounds about right.
I actually only conceded my first goal in my last match. I've gone clean sheeted every match before that. So I'm top of the league.
Cool.
And I'm waiting for it all to crumble underneath me.
Just all falls apart the
I
second half
am.
of the season.
So the problem is we've got the league and then it's playoffs. So I think I'm going to go completely under. I'm either going to go completely undefeated and then get stomped in the playoffs, or me and Dave are playing each other. We are each other's last match,
Okay.
and we're both the same race
Okay.
in the game. Not.
Yep. Nope. Yep.
So it's going to be a Skaven mirror match, and I think that I'm going to win every match up until that point. He's going to lose every match up until that point, and then I'll lose. He wins. It'll be my only loss, his only win.
All right. Okay.
Which
I
would
thought
be
it would
fine
be
for
like
me
some
because
weird thing. There'd be some weird thing where like only one race for each thing can go in.
no, it's just because it's this like
Okay.
we're the very fast agile race, and I have beaten every opponent. So I'm hoping that trend keeps going. Apart from that, nah, nothing much. Nah,
Cool.
nah, no. It'll be a quiet week before my holiday, and hopefully we'll have a Darren on next week.
Yeah. He said, well, or the next time we do it, we'll see what the situation is with that.
Don't make promises I can't keep. Yeah. Cool. Right. Well, thanks for joining me, Mark.
No worries.
I hope that you go and, I don't know, permadeath some rabbits.
There's no permadeath.
Is there not? You can't kill Mario forever?
No.
No.
I've tried, trust me.
20 years I've tried. Well, thanks for joining me, and we will see you all next time. Bye.